WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacey and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
Howdy everybody, this is JR from West Virginia and Commonplace, and today let's talk about real quick the Nebula Mars 3, built to roam far even to Mars, the world's first truly outdoor projector. Now let's get into a little bit of details about this projector. This projector can do a 200-inch screen anywhere you want it. You can take this anywhere you want to. Also, it has adjustable controls built into the handle. Now don't stop there, you can use it as a Bluetooth speaker, and it has a 40-watt Dolby audio. It also has a built-in power bank of 185 watts. Now, this device has keystone correction, autofocus, screen fit, intelligent environment adaptation, 1,000 ANSI lumens, so you know that you're going to be able to see it pretty good in the dark. It has AI image adjust, auto bright display, water resistant, drop resistant, dust resistant, and here's the great amazing thing that goes along with this: for $1. You can reserve $200 off of the Mars 3, and on July 10th you'll receive an email with a discount code, and they have 13 days to use this. Purchases must be made on cnebula.com or on Amazon, and last bit, a $1 coupon cannot be refunded. Welcome to West Virginia Commonplace. Doing a series on metaphysical stuff, but this first episode is late night. I gotta explain the whole premise for everything. So in March of 23 of 1994, my father passed away. And the night that he died, I was sleeping in my room, and I opened my eyes for a second, and I could see a silhouette of his shadow. Now, maybe I didn't see it, maybe I didn't, but it was the same shadow I would see when he would come and kind of peer over and watch over me before I went to sleep. So I seen that, and it kind of shook me for a minute. So the next day when I woke up, that was the first day I didn't have my father. And no one knows what the first 24 hours is like. Unless you've lost someone, the first 24 hours after they're gone, that is the weirdest time of your life, because you're wondering, you're thinking. Now, nothing bothered me during that whole day. I went about my day. They entertained me. They kept my mind occupied. But when I had to go to the bathroom later on that night, that's when all the thoughts and everything came to my mind. Like, where's my dad? Why did he go? All kinds of craziness that goes on in a young child's head when they're processing. So I get a little deeper into life, move along, and I start realizing that at night, the late night part of the night, from 11:30 till 2 or 3 in the morning, my wildest ambitions, dreams, and everything else that are going to take a forefront during the day process in my head, either when I'm asleep or when I'm awake. And when I'm awake, it's worse, because I'm one of these functioning people that can just get out here and do what I have to do and live life, no problem. And I'm just wondering to myself, like, how am I able to do this? Like, I'm talking about all the confusion, all the frustration, all the stuff that a normal person goes through during their day, like the anxiety and all that stuff. I process that stuff at night, so that when I've got to get ready to do whatever I have to do, be it work, a presentation, anything, I'm solid and I'm on point. I guess that's called being poised. So the further in life I got on, my sister taught me about the divinity things and all that other stuff. So I learned about the metaphysical world. And from that point on, learning about the metaphysical world brought me on all kinds of, it brought me into realms of meeting people that do tarot cards. I think the major thing that happened on the late night tip was when people got hold of the Ouija board. Now, some are going to say that it doesn't move on its own, or we move it, or however. Not here to debate how you use the Ouija board. But on the late night tip, when I was, 16 through 21, people would pop out that Ouija board and use it and try to psych people out and get them going crazy, doing whatever. Me personally, I tried it once or twice and then I left it alone for personal reasons. So the other things that go on, like I always kept a notebook with me or something to deal with the agonizing parts of my mental. So things that were agonizing, when people would linger around too long for me, I'm ready for these people to just get out of my space, and they overstay their welcome in certain areas, which it happens. But the further I got in with these psychics, with all these people that handle astrologists, all these people that handle things that have some portion to deal with at night, I stayed up longer at night. On a Friday night, I could sit back and read some information that I normally wouldn't read during my normal daily hours. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that at night, on the late night tip, a lot of us make mistakes. A lot of us learn things. But for me, it's a place where I get my mental well-being from. It's the thing that I use to have the selfless nature to want to help across the board. When we talk about how people do their self-care, self-maintenance at night, when it's just me, and I can put all this thought together with all this stuff that I've thought about, like stepping into the divinity realm, like if I get a tarot card reading or I'm just reading something about zodiac signs, this is the time that I'm doing it. I'm analyzing it this time because this is the only forefront that I really have alone to do it. And sometimes it guides me, and sometimes it puts me in a situation where I don't move on certain things. I stay calm. I stay in a system that makes sense for me. And then there becomes the video games. Escaping reality. In between that time that I put out there, I will throw on anything that has some type of fantasy to it, be it Spider-Man, Metal Gear Solid, Mega Man, Street Fighter, anything that is not my norm. It's not Madden. It's not professional wrestling. It's not, stuff that what you would think would go on with whatever. So we move on in life. Death is something that happens, so we don't even have to go deep into that. But this last major tragedy that happened to me with Michelle, I noticed I dabbed more into the tarot cards, more into the psychic realm, more into the astrology, because I was trying to figure out certain things about me, because, obviously we all have a certain guilt when it comes to someone dying, and someone being that close to you dying, that, a spouse to, something like that, that kind of threw me for a loop, and I was trying to figure out how to get things back, get things better, get right in life. And I guess that's like where I am today. I've grieved, and it was weird. With inside this whole podcasting thing, there's been instances where people that are of these divine rights have reached out to me. I haven't necessarily gone out of my way to reach out to any, and they just keep coming and coming. And some of them, it's not what it seems. And then some people are genuine, so I let all that pass by and go along. So I guess it's just to me, like, the reason that I had to do this late night part one is to explain the process that goes on at night that leads to me having encounters with these psychics and metaphysical experiences that have taken place with me personally. Because with some people don't believe, some people do believe. So I'm never here to judge or worry about your opinion on that. I'm just here to tell you about my experience and what went on with me. And the next episode that I'll be doing, I will be talking to some psychics, and you'll get a feel for what I was going through or what I've been going through and how these things have happened and how you align it with some people. Sometimes it's for a personal, real selfish gain that I need, which is probably acceptable in this area. And then other times it's for their need. And when it went to their need, that's when things got a little crazy and strange with me. That's when things got a little out of hand. And that's when I learned a little bit more about my metaphysical experiences. because I had time to just sit back here, be coy with it, and see why these things were happening, why all this craziness was happening to me. And I got answers, and once I was able to get the answers, that's what I needed. And coming from a Christian background, I didn't get the answers I needed from clergy. I didn't get the answers I needed from my religion. So that's why I stepped out and went a little bit further, because I wanted more, and that's what I needed. So on that note, I'm JR, and this is the first part of a series that I'll be developing and that we'll be doing. But the first episode is Late Night Part 1. And it's not a Part 2 to it, but this is just Part 1 of the 3-part series that I will be doing for this. So once again, I'm JR. And please keep seeking the uncommon.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at oncommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.